Hello, welcome back to tutorial today. Hope you people are doing well. Thank you for returning back to my channel, and if you are stopping by for the first time, thank you for stopping by. Please don't forget to leave without subscribing to my channel, and also put on the notification bell so that you will be notified anytime I upload a new video. So today we are going to learn how to cut and sew this beautiful lunch bag. This is a new lunch bag design that I just made. So without taking your time, let's get started. Okay, this is the leather I'm going to use for this tutorial. I've cut it out already. What I have here is 9.5 inches this way, 10 inches this way. That's the height is 10 inches while the width is 9.5 inches. So I have two pieces of it. So I also cut lining for it and foam for it. For my foam, I reduce the size of my foam. So when you are cutting yours, you reduce the size so that it can be able to fit in when you are sewing. So I reduce both the width and the height for the foam. So I'm using this cartoon character for it. This is my zip head and also my zip cloth. I'm going to use a piping cord. I'm using belt. I'm using 1 inch belt and 1.5 inches belt. The 1.5 inches belt will be for the handle, while the 1 inch belt will be for the taping of my cartoon character. And I'm going to keep all these things aside. I'm going to work on my cartoon character first. So for my cartoon character, I'm going to reduce the height. The height I need now is 8 inches. Remember, my leather, the height of my leather is 10 inches. So my cartoon character will be smaller than my leather. So I'm using 8 inches, the height. So I will trim off from the up and also from the down to get my 8 inches. I'm not touching the side. The side is okay. Okay, I'm done trimming it. This is what I have now for my cartoon character. So the next thing I'm going to do here, and I'm going to tape it round with my belt. If you want to shape it, you can give it a curve this way and also this way. But I'm going to leave it this way. I'm not curving it. So now is the time to shape our leather. So here I'm shaping with 1 inch. From this point I took in 1 inch here. From this point I took in 1 inch. So the next thing is that you use your free hand and connect it. I've connected here and here. So here, from at the down part, this is the up, this is the down. So at this down part, I shape it with 1/2 inch. From here I measured 1/2 inch. From here I measured 1/2 inch, and I will also connect it together with a curve. So I will trim it off. I will use this to shape the second one. So I'm done shaping it. Okay, I'm done taping my cartoon character. So what I'm going to do now, I will take one of this my leather. Remember, we have 10 inches. So I will take from here to here, I've measured 1 inch here. Then from here to here, I measured 1 inch. So these are the space I will give before I place my cartoon character on it. So when I place it this way, I will centralize it very well. You make sure that the space you have from here to here will be the same thing that you will have from here to here. Centralize it very well, and I'm going to my machine now and stitch it this way, and also this way to create a pocket. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, now I'm done sewing my sticker on my leather. This is what I have now. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to sew my leather to my lining. First, you have to notch the midpoint. I've done that. I've notched both the up and the down. I've notched it. So I'll bring my lining, place my leather on my lining this way, and pipe it round with my piping cord. When I'm done piping this one, I'll bring the back also place it on my lining. Like I said, I cut this lining I cut it for the two leathers, so I place it and also pipe it round. There's something I want to tell you. As you are piping the bag, please don't forget to insert your foam. If you start piping this way, when you get to this place, make sure you insert your foam inside before you complete it. Take note of that, it's very important. So I'm done piping my work. You can see I've piped it round. So the next thing I'm going to do is to keep this aside. But as a beginner, I want to explain something to you. After piping your work like this, when you are cutting your leather, don't cut your gusset. That's the side. That's what is called gusset. Don't cut your gusset. When you are done with the main body, you measure on the pipe, measure it round. Whatever you get is what will determine the gusset you are going to cut, the length. Then the wideness, you vary it. So you decide how you want the wideness to be. So like this one now, when I measured it round, what I have is 36 inches. So I've decided to make the base 8 inches. But that 8 inches is not what I will cut in my leather. I will add my joining allowance. You know, I have to join this side here, join from this side here. So if you sew by ½ inch, that means ½ inch here, ½ inch here, that's 1 inch. If you sew by ¼ inch, that's ¼ inch here, ¼ inch, that's ½ inch. So depending on your sewing allowance, that is what you will add as your joining allowance. So now 36 minus 8 will give me 28. So that means from here this way will be 28 inches. I will also add my joining allowance. So I'm going to add 1 inch because I sew with ½ inch. So for the upper gusset, I'm going to attach my zipper to it. So I'm going to cut 5½ inches by 29 inches instead of 28 inches. While the down gusset, I'm going to cut 6 inches by 9 inches instead of 8 inches. So this is the upper gusset and this is the down gusset. I've cut it out. I've also cut linings. I also cut foam. I also cut foam for my gusset. My foam is smaller than my leather. You know that you need allowance on the both sides to sew, so you have to reduce the size of their foam. Anytime you are doing anything with foam, you reduce the size so that by the time you insert your foam inside the leather, in between the leather and the lining, you will still have allowance to sew. Okay, now we are going to sew our belt. So I have two belts here. One is the long one. I have 50 inches here. Here I have 10 inches. So this is my 1½ inches adjuster. I'll just put my adjuster in the 10 inches belt. The length of the belt is 10 inches, but the wideness is 1½ inches. So I will centralize it here, one side. Make sure that the space you have from here to here is equal to what you have from here to here, and make sure that it gets to this point, unless you want to make it half. So I will centralize it and stitch it down here. Then while the long zip, I will centralize it also on this side and stitch from this point. I'm going to stitch till 8½ inches. I'm going to stitch to 8½ inches. I will stop. The same thing here, I will stitch to 8½ inches and also stop. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm done sewing my belt. So the next thing now is to sew my zip cloth. So first I'll put my lining down. I'll bring my zip cloth. The wrong side of my zip cloth will face my lining. Then the right side of my leather will face the right side of my zip cloth. I'll put it this way. Then I will sew it down. After sewing it down, I will flip it over and top stitch on it. Okay, I'm done sewing my zipper. So this is what I have now. This is the time for me to insert my foam. I will insert my foam inside, then I will now stitch it close. So I'm done sewing my lining and my leather together. So now I'm going to sew my base to the upper gusset. So I put it this way, leather to leather, then I will put lining to lining here. I will stitch it together here. After stitching it together, I will bring this over this way and also bring this line. I will stretch it to meet here and also stitch it together. Though let me stitch this first, I will now show you how to do this side. So after stitching it this way, what you will do is you bring your belt inside this way, move it this way, make sure that your leather is together with your leather. Then you fold it like this, just fold it this way so that you make it to be smaller. Then you bring your lining this way, lining to lining, arrange it and stitch it. So I'm done sewing it. By the time you are done, say this is what you will have. This is your leather, no lining this side, your lining is here. So now you are going to open it, move your lining towards your leather, the plain leather. So you see it now. By so doing, you have concealed here and also concealed here. Now I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and top stitch it here and here. Then I will insert my foam inside. Insert my foam inside this way and close here and also this side. Okay guys, I'm done sewing the gusset together. I've joined it together. So now I'm going to notch it to get my midpoint. I'm going to notch it. You fold it together, make sure that the place you joined it is together. Notch it, stretch it very well, and notch this part also. So you turn to this side and also do the same. Notch it, also stretch it very well. To notch this side, the zip close. So after notching it, you turn it to the wrong side. So this is what I have now. This is the zip close. So my front, this is the front that has the sticker. It's going to be on the zip close side. You also fold it this way, fold it into two and notch the middle here. We have already notched the down before, so you match it midpoint to midpoint. Match the down midpoint to midpoint. So you turn it this way, turn it over, get the back, also get the midpoint. Then you also match it midpoint to midpoint. Match it on this side also midpoint to midpoint. So I will go to my sewing machine now, arrange it very well and stitch it this side. I'll come to this side and also stitch it on this side. By the time I'm done stitching it together, I will tape it at once. Okay guys, I'm done sewing it together and also taping it. So now we are going to open our bag to see what it looks like. So this is our lunch bag now. The next thing that we are going to do now is just to finish the handle, sew the handle. So if you have watched to this extent and you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to my channel to support me, and also don't forget to put on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you for watching. God bless you.